Welcome. You're listening to Behind the Business podcast.
Do you ever wonder what really happens behind a business?
Well, in this podcast, we explore the trials and tribulations of starting a business and being an entrepreneur. I'm your host, Jason Manor-Inter.
And I'm your co-host, David Luu. And this is Behind the Business.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 21. And today we got David's Luu cousin. No, I'm just joking. They got the same last name, Melissa Luu. And she's with
Amaido Cafe.
Amaido Cafe.
Amaido Cafe.
Amaido,
yes.
Amaido Cafe. Cafe.
Cafe.
I'm eating the donuts right now, so I feel like my mouth is kind of like not ready to talk. But Amaido Cafe,
Yeah.
And you guys do donuts.
Yes.
Specifically donuts.
Donuts and coffee drinks.
And ice cream, actually. Yes. Yeah.
Donuts, ice cream, and ice cream.
Yes.
Cool. Is it just you?
So I have my boyfriend and his aunt.
His aunt.
Yes, so it's very family run.
And you guys, I think just launched this year. Was that right? Or?
Yeah, we launched this year. We actually launched in June.
June.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was actually cool watching the whole process of it from start to finish.
Yeah, it's for sure. Yeah, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna put the donut down. So we're starting. But yeah, tell us how you guys got into that and the whole process of getting it going especially during COVID, right? Like, why donuts? I feel like that's such a niche market.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you were kind of explaining these type of donuts to me. I've never heard before.
They're not just any donuts either. They're mochi donuts.
Mochi donuts. Never heard of that. What's mochi?
It's like a Japanese, like a rice flour.
Rice flour.
They
Got
use.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that Amaido is Japanese.
So Amaido is like a mix. Like the name comes from like a Chinese mix with Japanese mix, just because we use rice flour. Like Chinese people eat rice, and then the idea of mochi flour comes from like Japanese people because they use mochi a lot. So it's like a mix of Japanese and Chinese.
Amaido.
Yeah. So Amaido, the name actually means like a rice donut in Chinese, and it also means a sweet donut in Japanese.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we get into business, what are these flavors? Because I find they're really unique.
Yeah.
They're very different.
So we try to like stay with like the Asian flavors, things we grew up with, what we like to eat. Mm-hmm. So then we come up with new flavors actually every week.
Every week?
Every
Yeah,
week,
they
yes.
change the flavors every week.
All the flavors?
All the flavors, yeah.
Oh
like
my
we'll
God.
maybe keep like one or two, but most of the time we change like all of them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like a brand new flavor
For
every
sure,
2
yeah.
weeks. And then they'll bring back like one that they've had in the past maybe, but it's like limited. So
Nice.
it creates like a scarcity.
For
Supply
sure.
and
Like it
demand.
creates hype, and also like during COVID you have to like kind of change your business, right? Like we would usually, if we were able to open fully, we'd keep 4 reoccurring flavors. But since like, with COVID and like not bringing people down, you definitely need to change your business and kind of drive them down with different flavors.
And so what are the flavors here that we have?
So this week we have orange blossom lemonade. We kept ube, and then caramel churro, milk tea, black sesame, brown sugar maple, and honey lavender.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're all like interesting flavors.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
They're pretty good. I just took a bite out of one. So.
Yeah. The churro.
Yeah.
Caramel. Yeah.
And you guys are changing every single flavor.
Yes, yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, so I actually curate that like every week. So I'm doing a lot of research, thinking of like flavors, rotating them. So we do keep some of the same ones, and we've done some of these before. It's just rotating them.
It's just
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just cycling through them. too.
Exactly, yeah.
So how many flavors do you have in total right now then? Like different.
Oh, like my whole recipe list? I
Yeah.
think there's like, let's see, I don't know. Maybe, how many weeks have we had here? I'd say like 40 flavors, 50 flavors, a lot, yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool though.
Yeah. I think that's what you need to do, though.
For sure, yeah.
Right? Definitely you're ahead thinking right now of,
Exactly.
of the market, especially with donuts, right? People like new things,
Yeah.
want to try new things.
Yeah, and like if you miss the chance to have it before, you're like, oh crap, I want to go and try it again. Because like Last week you had that coffee crisp.
Oh yeah,
coffee.
for sure. There's like a sense of urgency, right? You're like,
Yeah.
if I miss this week, they might not do it for like 3 weeks. So then they really come down every week to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I really wanted to try that one, and then we went down, but it was sold out.
Oh,
I was like, fuck. Yeah, so you guys have a really cool concept on the donuts and food, and I think that's kind of how you guys got that from your guys' other business as well.
For which one? Sorry.
The Urban Pop Shop.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's another business.
Yeah, they have a few.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what got you into the business and what you were doing before, and maybe dabble into your other businesses too.
So Amaido began from actually a person that pitched us, a friend that pitched us. In our other business, we actually do Funko Pops and toys. So we're called Urban Pop Shop. And then we had a partner that we met, like a friend that we met in the business, who decided to pitch it to us. He's like, hey, maybe you should open this in Calgary. I think you'll do well. And we did see this in Japan. We did see it in the States.
Oh,
but
so
he pitched it to us. He's like, maybe you should open it in Calgary. And then we decided to like research it, and then we decided to do it.
Was this a guy from Seattle?
No, this is a guy from San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, yeah.
Shanna's telling me about this before.
He pitched the idea to you guys.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, maybe you should do something like this. Yeah, in Calgary.
And then you guys just kind of did your research and then just opened it up yourself, like the
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how long did that take?
So this was in the works for like a few years. I used to own actually Uzu Taiyaki. So the idea came after that when we decided to leave that and decided to do something else. And then this idea came up.
Do you remember the fish cones with the ice cream in it? And like red bean on the inside?
I don't.
Okay, well. Isn't that what the culture is?
Yeah. Trend.
This is all new to me. All new to me. I'm in my own world here, guys.
So there was another ice cream shop that they were with before, but
Got
then
it.
they ended up going their separate ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this kind of formed in the last 2 years.
This formed in the last 2 years. Yes. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
you and your boyfriend.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And how has that process been going for you guys, starting it and then having to deal with COVID? Because you guys opened up.
Exactly. Like right in the middle of COVID. Yeah.
In Chinatown.
Yeah, in June.
In June, right? So, yeah, tell us about that.
So during this time, we were actually doing renovations. So we had the place for like about a year and a half. We had some issues with like our condo board. We couldn't like do construction. So we were actually during COVID, prime of COVID, we were actually doing renovations. So we were still working. We were doing renovations, doing testing. Had a lot of issues because we were backtracked. So then we finally caught up, and then June was like our opening date. Like we were still gonna open, and we ran it as like pickup, and people weren't coming into the store. It was just like pre-orders.
Yeah, I think you guys implemented that really good, like very early on. Like you guys had a new website that took on the delivery
Oh yeah,
stuff.
for sure. Yeah.
And then they were doing like pickup only, and then it was just like at the front door there was a table there, and people would just come to give their name, and then they would just drop off the donuts. But there was like lineups still, right?
Yeah, so when we announced our soft opening, we had like a lineup of people. But we did tell people that we actually, when we first started, we didn't have a website. And website wasn't even in thought until we're like, we need to do this because there's lineups outside. That's not okay. And people weren't really social distancing, and people were like, we were kind of behind. We were making our donuts. So we're like, yeah, we'll just do pre-order. It's probably easier this way. Yeah.
How did you guys get such good hype with your business, especially with the donuts sector?
For sure.
Because I find, like when people are starting their new businesses,
Yeah.
How do you build that hype, and how did you get that clientele, people waiting in line? I think Dave kept mentioning like, oh, these donuts are selling out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how, like, as an entrepreneur and someone starting their new business, how did you guys, how were you guys able to do that?
Well, if you know Calgary really well, we're very trendy. Like people jump on food trends very easily. We saw that with our last business, and we know Calgary very well in that sense that people love food and they like trends. They like to try things right away, and anything new really attracts people. So we knew that from our previous business. So then we knew that like jumping on a hype, we knew that this would do well. And I think just good marketing, organic marketing helped with that.
Yeah.
And I think people want to come down right away and try it right away.
Was it marketing through social, like
it was social media, yes, yeah.
Just strictly social.
Just strictly social media.
Wow. Just like Instagram.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I find that the donuts are very like Instagrammable too.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah.
So they actually got TikTok famous.
Yeah, so actually when we first opened, we were busy. Of course, you kind of stagger and you kind of slow down because people don't really know about you yet.
Yeah.
A couple people made TikTok videos, and then that's when we blew up.
Oh wow!
Because originally we weren't really selling out. We were the first few weeks and the first few months, but then we kind of like staggered. It was slow, and then someone made a video about us, and it blew up again. There was another lineup.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The power of TikTok. Telling everyone this, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's a weird platform where it's like directly impacting your business.
For sure. And like everyone's always about supporting local. So like he really like someone really emphasized support local. So then a lot of people came down because of that.
Yeah, that's why I was doing a lot of stuff with it too, because we want to promote more local business in the cities.
Yeah.
Because like we actually have a lot of family, friends, clients, stuff like that have businesses, and there isn't really a what is the word? Like a platform for us to actually support them in that sense, and that's why kind of how we got into the podcast thing.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to like learn about the business behind the business, and then also like almost cross market with each other. Yeah. So
So it's just fascinating that like you guys blew up during COVID and you guys are in Chinatown.
For sure. Yeah.
Right?
was our own Chinatown.
Nothing's wrong with Chinatown, but I'm just curious why you guys picked that location. Yeah.
So we picked that location because we actually, our other business is in Chinatown, our other toy business.
Okay.
So our store was like down there. We've been down there for like 5-6 years. So we kind of knew the area very well.
So have you been like self-employed entrepreneurial like your whole life? Or like,
No, it started maybe after university. Yeah.
And
What's what's your background?
So I went for economics and business. I didn't finish because I was offered a proposition to run my parents' restaurant. So then I decided to leave and do that. That didn't work out, and then the toy business came about.
You said you also have a background in interior design.
Yes, yeah.
and logo designing or something?
Yeah, so I do graphic design and calligraphy and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
So straight out of university, like you went to university for business.
Yes, yeah.
And then you dropped out.
Yes.
And then you worked with your family business at a restaurant.
Yes,
Is that
yeah.
right? Then you opened up that toy business.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was we were in a weird position with the business, the restaurant. And then we were like, maybe we were doing it on the side, like the toy stuff. It was actually, we started collecting. And then the idea came from...
What type of toys?
So they're Funko Pops. They're like bobbleheads.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know them.
You'll see them like often at stores and stuff like that. Like I have a few at my house.
I think I know
Yeah.
them. They have like
Yeah.
the big heads.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
With
the
the
small eyes,
and the
like ball eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
So you were buying that and flipping those? Or?
So we were just buying it to collect.
Yeah. And was it you and your boyfriend?
Yeah, me and my boyfriend buying for his like birthday
So you
gift,
guys are
Christmas.
business partners also in a lot of things.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was buying it from him a lot, and I was like, these are expensive, and we were buying so much. We had so many, and at that point, I was like, what's a good way to get this at the cheapest cost? Like the Asian in me were like, Gil, what's the cheapest way to get this? So I did some research, and then we decided to start a company because of that idea. Yeah.
because other people might want them too.
Yeah, I was like, maybe if I get it cheaper and then I sell it and people can get it too and I can get it too, then we all win.
Yeah. So you get one for yourself.
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
A bunch for some other people too.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty smart.
So you were flipping toys.
Kind of, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and they're actually going to like all the Comic Cons in like the US and stuff like that.
It wasn't really flipping toys. It's still market value. It was like
Yeah.
what you would buy at a store. We were just kind of like a smaller scale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you guys still do that.
So we still do it, yes.
Yeah.
And that's in Chinatown also.
It's in Chinatown also.
Yeah.
It's just down the street, and it's pretty crazy because as they get more rare or like limited releases on them, they actually go up in value. So they trade like a commodity, but depending on
Like cards.
Yeah.
Like cards. Yeah.
But the thing is that I feel like the culture that you guys have learned from the toy culture and the hype beast culture
Yeah, for
is
sure.
what you've applied to the donut business.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
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 It's like supply and demand, and like it's really popular in Japan too. Like these major like fashion outlets and like their flagship stores, they only release an item like at a very limited quantity, and once it's gone, it's gone. So it actually creates these like crazy lineups at like Bape or like Neighborhood, all those things, all those brands like Supreme, right? They're like the peak of like hype beast culture, and that's what I feel like these donuts are like hype beast
In a
donuts.
sense, yeah.
Hype donuts. So now that you have your toy business, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap my head up for your life here.
Yeah.
And then a friend is like, hey, get into this donut business.
Yes, yeah.
And you guys have no idea about donuts, or
We've had it. Like we've ate it before.
Yeah.
We've experienced it. It wasn't something we wanted to do, but we know that like we wanted to do something in food still, so we wanted to continue doing that. Yeah.
And then he proposed something to you, and then you guys just started looking for a place. You guys had a
Yeah,
business
exactly.
plan?
Yeah, we just pitched it. He pitched it to us as an idea, and then we're like, we'll just take a look at it and see what we could do.
Was he like an investor or a
No, he's
partner?
not an investor. He's just a really good friend that we've built. Like he also sells toys. His
okay.
business is 10 times bigger than ours. He's
okay.
from the States.
Yeah.
We actually were selling toys from him. We were buying exclusive toys from him too because he deals with the same thing. And it's not a competition because, you build a friendship with this person.
Totally.
And then he just always like gave us ideas. He kind of became like our mentor in a sense. He gave us lots of information and always like pitched like ideas all the time to us.
Is he much older?
He's much older. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's probably in his like late 40s.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to have a mentor like that in
Like I didn't really think him as a mentor, but like it's because he pitches his ideas and always talks to us and gives us information. Like he's become like a really good friend.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's what you need, and that's what I realized too. Is like having some form of mentor to kind of guide you through like a business venture or something, right?
Exactly. Like ask questions.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because they've done it. They know, they have the experience, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier when someone else has done it to actually rebound ideas because they've probably made some of those mistakes.
Exactly. And then you don't have to make them and it'll be easier for you.
So you guys decide for sure you guys are doing this donut business, and then takes about 2 years to launch, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Finding the space was, I guess, that was an easy decision for you guys to be in Chinatown.
Yes.
And then you guys opened up shop June.
Yes.
And had done
Yeah.
no form of marketing except social media.
Yeah.
Social media and hype.
Yeah.
But weren't you guys on Curiosity?
So we did like get reached out by like magazine companies and stuff because they like to be on top of like their news and new trends too. We've actually had like this place for a while. So I was doing like early marketing, just like saying, hey, we're coming, like this is what we're doing. And then I think a lot of people were like reaching out and like, hey, we want to know what's happening. So they did a lot of interviews and questions and stuff. So they were actually promoting for us too.
Before it was starting.
Before it started, yeah.
How important is that you feel in a business to like pre-market the business?
I don't think it's like super important. It just depends like where the stages you are. Like if it's like if you know what's happening soon, maybe it is important. But I feel like if you don't know when you're gonna open, then it's a little difficult. Yeah.
But you guys knew like an exact date.
We actually didn't know. It just happened to be National Donut Day. We're like, let's open this day. Yeah.
That's a really good plan, though.
And like we don't really have much background in like baking and cooking, so it's more like we're all doing everything as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember sampling some of the earlier donuts, and we were just like, all right, these ones are good, this ones are bad. Like this is what I would say. Like this is too sweet. Like. You were actually doing a lot of sample testing with.
Yeah, we were testing
people.
for a while actually with lots of people.
Yeah, they were giving like 20 donuts out and be like, "Hey, try these and see what's up." And then they were taking feedback from it and then being like, "Okay, this is what you should alter."
I feel like you knew exactly what you were doing getting into this business.
No. This is my first time opening a cafe. It's very hard. It's like a different business.
Yeah.
You put a lot more energy into it. It's a different type of energy too. It's like. It's very different.
Yeah. Are you making the donuts, or do you guys have employees?
We make it.
You guys make it?
Yes, we make it.
Oh, on your own?
On our own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you, your boyfriend...
And just us two.
Just you two?
Just us two running it right now, yes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's quite the
And
process.
sometimes his aunt will come help, but like, yeah, right now it's just us two.
So who deals with the sales?
We both do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they curated like a bunch of coffee as well too, locally roasted. And then they also make their own ice cream.
Melissa, you make this sound so easy. I'm trying to find something here that you, what was hard about this? Like, what was the hardest thing about running the business and
Getting it started?
Yeah, getting it started. Let's go there.
What's hard? All of it was actually really hard because we've never really opened a cafe before. Like I've ran a restaurant, so you have background in that, but
You weren't scared at all.
it's always really scary. Yeah. Like when are we going to open? Like we're paying rent still. Like we got to figure it out. It's always a lot of stress. It's just you have to manage it in a sense. I don't know. We're always just like learning new things, researching.
Yeah.
It's good that I have a partner that we could like stress together or figure it out. But
Because like you guys did a lot of the renovations and you did all the painting on the walls.
Yeah, we did all the
like-
paintings. So during the COVID times, we were actually just like renovating, doing flooring, tiling. Like, so we were learning a lot of new skills.
Yeah.
Labor skills.
It was cool. Like I watched it from like start to finish.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone though that is struggling with that to start what you've done? Because it's like a lot of people I find are too scared to even start. And it sounds like you just kind of just jumped into the business,
Yeah.
and we're okay with it, right? How did you handle that?
I think that people that start, I feel like they need to jot it out, write it down, figure it out. I think they need to just figure out their plan. Just do like a plan. I think you need to start like figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it, and just like I just feel like I write things down all the time.
And I'm assuming, well, it sounds like you've planned this like very detailed.
Yeah, I've become like such a analytical person.
Because yeah, like to the ingredients, to the flavors, to where it is, to the design, it takes a lot to do, right? And to plan. I think that's what a huge thing where it's like, yeah, I feel like you get more comfortable with what you do if you plan it,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? And a lot of people, entrepreneurs, aren't really planning. They don't even have a business plan. I didn't have a business plan when I started out.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no direction if you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
And the thing is that without a plan, things can work. But if you do have a plan, you can kind of expect things that come up. And the thing is that the plan also always changes. It's not the exact same the first time, but as long as you have something to kind of go off of, then you actually have some direction.
For sure. Yeah. Be willing to change or change your business if you have to.
Yeah. You got to adapt as well.
And I think something that you've done very well is get in with the trends. I think you created a trend here with donuts.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And it's like I've never heard of these type of donuts, right? It's pretty like the only place I would think of getting donuts is like Tim Hortons.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like honey cruller.
Yeah.
Honey
But
cruller, honey dip.
I've had
Vanilla
some
dip.
of the other ones, like the other, like what is it, modern jelly or
Modern jelly. There's lots. Yeah.
hoopla?
Did you look at your competition though?
So yeah, we did. We knew there was a lot of donut shops around, and I feel like this is the year of the donut. Actually, a lot of donut shops actually have popped up this year, and I feel like when I did my previous business, it was actually the year of the ice cream. Actually, when we opened our ice cream business, and I don't know why we're following the trends, but it just works out. It works out that way. Like year of the ice cream, and this is the year of donuts.
That's good.
What
though.
do you mean your donuts? Like a lot of
Like the
A lot
hype.
of other businesses have actually opened donut shops in Calgary too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because even when I was in Vancouver, I went to Granville Island, and there's a donut shop there called Lee's Donuts.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were like lined up outside the door, like wrapped around the building, and people were just sitting there waiting for donuts.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
how
crazy.
like the trend became, but I just feel like this is probably the year of the donuts. It's always like a year of something, and this is probably the year of donuts.
Well, because Tim Hortons donuts kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like we actually worked at Tim Hortons together, and like we used.
Oh, I know my donuts.
Yeah, we used to eat a lot of donuts.
Yeah.
Like, and we saw from when they used to bake them fresh every night.
Yeah.
And then when they transferred over to these like pre-frozen baked ones that they would just throw into a quick oven, and then you would eat them and they would taste like shit. Like I couldn't eat
stale.
donuts at Tim Hortons for like years
Yeah.
until it was like the only option.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, there's your bubble tea. I remember when it came out. There's
Yeah, like last year was probably like the year of the bubble tea.
Yeah.
And then there's like the year of the ramen. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people don't know what ramen is back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that scare you though?
No, I feel like it's good competition in a sense, but I feel like we're all kind of in our own lane doing our own thing. We're kind of different in that sense, and I feel like everyone's kind of just doing their own thing, so it's okay.
I think you're also kind of diversified as well because you guys also do really great coffee, and then the ice cream is actually really good too. So you have options between all three concepts, and then you're also doing different flavors and stuff like that within the two of them at least. So
How are you guys managing your businesses? Because I feel like that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Especially seriously, I respect people that start up a business, and
Yes,
especially
yeah.
going into a retail space. Like it's a lot of work.
It is.
They don't talk like the lease, the negotiations.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things. Then you have to design it, right?
yeah,
And
the renovations.
the renovations, and now you're ordering food and all this stuff. And
For sure, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how are you dealing with all that?
So I'm lucky I have a partner that does that too. So
It's hard to believe this is you too.
Yeah, and
Right?
the toy business.
Yeah, like you had the toy business.
So with the toy business, the idea sparked from like buying and then wanting to start a business out of that, and kind of at the point in my life where we were like, we need to do something because we're not doing the restaurant business anymore, and then we're like, we are kind of just stuck. We're like, we need to do something, so we kind of just pushed for that, and then so we started the toy business, and it became like we were doing it together, doing a lot of shows. Like trade shows were very great for like selling the product, and then. Now I let my boyfriend run that. Like he runs that fully. I'll be there to help him if he does trade shows, but he does that fully now. And then I basically do more of the marketing and stuff for like the cafe.
So you're a one person show there.
At the cafe, no, he makes the donuts and then I do the rest.
You do. Do you have any downtime for yourself? How would you say it?
Hey, what's your personal
Yeah.
time?
So we work out.
Yeah.
We used to play sports, but now that we're not permitted, it's gonna be a little tough. Just a lot of Netflix when I have time.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to do nowadays
not a lot to do, yeah.
for personal time, I find.
For sure.
Yeah. How are you though able to like on your own like since June on this? Obviously your business is growing, and how have you adapted to like deal with the customers, the new ingredients as the business grows, right? Like what are your growing pains right now? Because I feel like that's kind of what we're going through, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with that, right?
I feel like we still have to plan. We're always planning. We're figuring out like the new year is coming, and then we just have to sit down and figure out like what are our next steps if COVID's still going to be here, if we're able to open. Because originally, like we're a cafe.
I feel like COVID didn't impact your business.
It didn't, but it did change like the aspect of how we wanted to run our business. Like we
Okay.
were going to be a cafe, a communal space, because we have a really large space. Like just encourage people to come in, enjoy coffee. So that was like our like original goal for people to come in, enjoy coffee, and just like the mochi donuts were supposed to be just like an additional thing. It wasn't supposed to be like what we're narrow minded like doing. Like everyone just thinks we're mochi donuts, but at the end of the day, we're still a cafe. Like we wanted people to come in, enjoy coffee, have ice cream, eat donuts. So we did have to change that.
Oh, so
And we
originally,
became, yes, yeah. So originally the whole, like our idea was a cafe,
yeah,
a communal space, bringing people in socially.
yeah.
But COVID, of course, doesn't allow that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we did have to adapt and change just to mochi donuts in a sense.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. Like you can go. Like it was a nice spot if you want to go and like sit and work and do some stuff, or like
Yeah, it was like a cafe.
yeah, right in Chinatown. So
Oh, how many people could sit there?
I think our capacity was like 40 people.
Oh wow, that's pretty big.
So we don't have all the tables set up, but like if we did have all our tables set up, we'd have like a very big space for people to enjoy.
That's crazy. And right now, you guys, I think it's only 25% capacity.
25% or something like where you had to ice. Like I think it's still same for restaurants. Yeah.
But you guys aren't allowing anyone in.
So we allow like a couple tables to sit, but we aren't like open fully for people to enjoy the space. No.
yeah, it's not worth it almost.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah, we're running it the same way how we began.
I think that's something entrepreneurs have to do, though, is adapt.
Adapt for sure. Yeah.
Right? Things don't always go as planned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a big thing is actually online and like the pre-orders and stuff like that.
For sure. Like you have to have a good like online presence, especially on social media. I feel like people are on that a lot just because we have a lot of time. So we're always on social media. And businesses that don't adapt to COVID and change their business when they have to, like they won't survive. It's going to be really hard.
Yeah, that's kind of what we see all the time in real estate. Like a lot of these older generation realtors, they're not using the social media tools to actually push their business.
For sure, yeah.
And they're actually just kind of being left in the dust. because
Exactly.
They're not on top of mind as like other agents are, right? So
Are you on social media every day with the marketing?
Yes.
Damn. I feel like that's something that needs to be done, right?
For sure. Like just even if you have to go on like for me, I create a story at least every day just to tell people like our product is here. You can come in. Like making a post like every day or every other day is what I do. Yeah.
And do you plan these marketing?
I plan on like maybe the day before, like maybe I'll plan today what I'll do tomorrow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
for the photos, for content.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I feel like if most of your business has come from social media, you need to be on point with
Oh,
that,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
And for someone to post every day and make a story every day, that takes a lot of dedication and work.
Yes.
Right? How do you stay motivated to continue to do that?
It doesn't have to be anything like too crazy. You just have to make like a couple videos, like just utilize like all the tools that Instagram has or Facebook has.
You don't run Facebook ads or anything?
I don't know. So
Crazy.
just organic.
You guys should.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That is crazy. How much are these donuts?
So they're $2.75 for one, or a box of 6 is $15.75.
Yeah.
Okay. And do people just order through social media and come pick it up?
So we actually have a website.
Okay.
So they either pre-order the website or we do walk-ins.
Oh, you guys do walk.
We do walk-ins, yeah, for takeout.
How do you manage like all 5 of those different businesses, and then like what kind of structures do you have in order to manage them all?
For me, well, with the cafe, it's like once everything's done, we have our donuts out and everything is set up and prepped for the day. Then I have time to work on other things. Yeah, so the idea is always like to prioritize your time and get everything done that you can. Prep your store, prep your cafe, whatever, clean your kitchen. Then you have your own downtime to do your next job.
Yeah. I feel like that comes with really good discipline.
For sure, yeah.
Tell us like a day, a typical day for you.
Yeah. Like what time do you guys start at?
So I start a little later because I don't make the donuts. Like my boyfriend makes the donuts. I'm there to like glaze and like set them up. But he starts at like 7:37, and I get there by like 9.
And then you're working.
And then we close at 6, so we're there till like 6.
Okay. And then he leaves to the other business, or how does that
So
work?
we have a cafe, right? So then he could just use that space to do his other work, like do online orders for the tour.
Double working, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we kind of built a space that we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, you guys are all working on
Oh,
your
working, yeah.
computers. It's
But
really
you know, you do put in a lot of hours though.
Yes, yeah.
Right? And I think that's what people don't see.
Oh, they don't see that. Yeah, like I'm like consumed by work some days. All I think about is work.
Welcome to our lives. Yeah.
That's just the life of like a business owner.
For sure, yeah. You have a lot to think about because you have a lot of overhead, right? Like you're thinking about a lot of things because you are paying for a lot of things and everything comes out of your own pocket. So you are more conscious about that.
How did you become so organized though? I feel like at this level you have to be.
I'm not organized. I write things everywhere. Like I have a little calendar. I just jot things down all the time. I have paper everywhere.
I feel like that was something I was learning this year too, is to jot things down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's better to have it in a notebook though, because if it's just on a random piece of paper.
Yeah, or on your phone in notes or something. Yeah.
Like
I
you
always
just
tell people if
throw-
they forget things, I'm like, you should write it down. Like if you have something, just text it to yourself or something. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I carry like 3 notebooks. So one's
Oh, I have a lot too. Yeah.
one's personal, one's business, and then one's to-do list.
Jeez.
So I always go through them.
That's crazy. I think we were talking with Jimmy about that, with how he.
Oh yeah, the
bullet journal.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that's coming to my mind right now is opening a business during COVID, and that didn't stop you.
We didn't know COVID was going to hit when we actually decided to do donuts. At the time, we were like looking for a space. We actually had the space before COVID hit. So we were
you're already locked in a lease.
Yeah, we were locked into the lease. We were doing our negotiations and in the renovation process and stuff. So we were in that already before COVID hit. And we had no choice. It's like, you got to do it or that's it.
Or you're just going to be bleeding.
You're bleeding, yeah. So you force yourself to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys really adapted with the times though.
For sure, you have to.
Yeah, so that's great.
With marketing, I feel like you're like a marketing guru, right?
I mean, I do follow like people that like are very into marketing. Their job is to teach people marketing.
Yeah.
But I think when I ran the last business, I saw how it grew just organically. We actually ran that organically. We didn't pay for the like 2 years that we ran it. We didn't pay for any advertising. And that grew on its own organically.
Yeah, because there was a lot of hype behind that.
And that was hype too because it was something new in the city. So it grew it on its own.
Yeah.
How do you build hype?
I think it's just like trends.
You have to find trends. It's like
But how would you say we could build our hype with our business?
Well,
your business.
because like these concepts are actually from Japan, right?
Yeah, the concept from Japan, or
Korea?
they're just like concepts from things that we don't have in Calgary in general. So people are very like intrigued by that.
Yeah, like I find that people in Calgary, they want to try the latest restaurants or like the newest trend or whatever like that, because it's something new. Like, and then I feel like it's like with trying something new, it's almost like a bragging, right? Like, oh, I tried this, right? So
Exactly.
And when you make it more exclusive, then people want it even more.
But how do you target these people if it's all organically? That's what I'm a little confused about, because you must have a following. You must have all these people that are starting to follow you. Like, how did you get that going?
I don't know. I think we just launched, and in a sense, like, we hoped that it was going to do it. Well, I think I knew it was going to do well. It was just the fact about who was going to come down and do it, like come and enjoy your donuts. So I just feel like people are very into trends, and they'll find the newest trend.
And then they'll just
And
try
you
it
just
out.
know that's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, like I went to a restaurant last night, Ponshu. It's really good there, but the experience of the sushi was like solid, and the owners, like the atmosphere, everything. I feel that like once you create some sort of atmosphere and experience for people, they're more willing to share it because they want other people to experience or share the same thing.
Totally, yeah. What would you say you've learned in the last 2 years about business?
Last 2
That's
years.
impacted you?
What have I learned? Oh, business is hard. I don't know.
I don't know. You make it sound so easy.
so hard.
You're just like, do this, do that. Like
I'm stressed all the time. I'm like, it's just about
what's the struggles? Like, what are you struggling? Like, what's
struggling with like finding like new flavors. Like, what am I gonna do next week? I'll sit there and contemplate that for like this week. I'll be like, what am I gonna do? But that's why it's like if I plan like ahead, then I'm not as stressed. Like I can manage that. Like the holidays are coming, then it's holiday flavors. Then that's fine.
Gingerbread.
Exactly, right? And then for the new year, it's like, what's gonna happen in the new year? What am I gonna bring new to the new year? So it's more if I plan, then I can manage that stress easily.
So it sounds like just plan ahead.
Exactly, yeah.
For less stress. Yeah.
I used to say to Jay all the time, failure to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah.
And I always like, yeah, whatever, Dave. I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But as a business, I always say this: like, you can plan, but shit happens, man.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
does.
it's like that's part of business. It's like
It is.
It's just, yeah, it happens, right? And it's learning to deal with it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Have you ever read the book The Art of War?
No.
So The Art of War is like this 5,000-year-old book by like this military general named Sun Tzu. And he talks about like planning for war and how that you should like expect the unexpected.
For sure, yeah.
And a lot of people actually use that book as a business book because the similar concepts that you learn from that book are actually in business as well. So a lot of like there's a lot of U.S. universities that will do courses on that book for business strategies.
For sure, yeah, because things always change.
Yeah, business is like war, right? So instead of death, it's like money. I guess I don't know. But yeah,
How have you and your boyfriend
Yes, yeah.
managed to work together? What would you guys say like makes it work? Because it seems like you guys are gotten into the first business, now this business. How do you manage that? Because I know it could get very stressful sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. We actually have been together for 11 years.
Oh wow.
So we started business. He actually went to university for accounting.
Okay.
So I mean, we work well together because we think differently, but we work well together in the sense that like he knows what he needs to do and I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, we both aren't. I'm more the creative side, and he's more like numbers, and like so it works well in that sense.
yeah. I like Shen.
How do you separate it from the personal and the business?
Sometimes it consumes you because like it's business. But in my mind, it's for us. We've come to this realization that it's business first. Don't take things personally.
I
But
like
business
that.
is business.
It's business first.
Yeah.
Like even with partnerships, it's for me. It's always me business first. Like
Yeah.
I'll always choose business first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
You sound like
Because I want the business to succeed in a sense. Like and if you want the same goal, I think we both need to be on the same page where we believe in the business, we want it to succeed, so it has to be first.
Yeah, and I think as your business succeeds too, like your personal life can succeed as
Exactly. Like you can get to a point where you could be better later. You just got to figure this out now.
well. Yeah, because I find that if the business is failing, your personal life is probably going to be failing
Oh, for
too
sure.
at
Yeah,
the
maybe.
same time, right? Because what you take into your personal life is what you take into your business life, and vice versa.
I'm still grasping on that. Business is first. No, but I like it.
Yeah.
right? That obviously like took some time for you guys to
Oh,
figure
for
it
sure.
out,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, with all the business we've started, and I think that like people put like emotions and relationships first, and like that it clouds your judgment in like your business. But like if you have like a set goal that like business is first, you want it to succeed, you want it to do well, then I think that you'll go on this like the right path rather than like it failing.
And so, with business first, the personal life, is that just correlated with the business too? Like, do you guys not really have a personal life?
Right now we don't. Right
But you guys are okay with
we're
that?
okay with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like if you've come to like accepting that, then it's okay. I think that right now we know we have to hustle, like during this time and just starting a new business. I think that we have to think about that first. Yeah.
It sounds like a life partner, business partner, personal partner.
Yes,
everything
yeah.
Partner, right?
But you guys also like a lot of the same things, which is cool.
Kind of, yeah. I think, but it's good that as we grow older, we're like realizing that we need our space, and then we like different things too, and we have to like let each other like do our thing
Like independent,
independently.
like
Yes,
codependent.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to have a talk with someone tonight.
That's hilarious.
Business first.
What would you tell yourself if you could talk to yourself like 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I tell myself that maybe I should have left school earlier. Maybe I should have pursued my dream earlier. So just start earlier. And I think that like I should have maybe not went to school and just pursued what I wanted to pursue. Yeah.
Did you always have that entrepreneurial mindset? Like,
I was always like a creative. Like I always wanted to like when I was younger, I was like I want to just draw for a living. And then my parents and they were just like, how are you gonna make money? And now people are actually making money from drawing.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I decided to go back to school and learn interior design because I was still a creative. Like I still want to do something in the creative field. So I still kept that, even though I did pursue it when I was like younger.
do you do any interior designing still? Any other side jobs?
So it's kind of good that I have that as a background. So when I start new businesses, it's like you don't really have to hire a person to do that because I take on that role. So I do it. So any new business that we start, I take on the role of designing the whole space.
Yeah, and the logos and everything.
Exactly, yeah. Because you'd pay like people lots of money to do that, and
Yeah.
for me, like I'm cutting down costs and I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that you've designed some logos for some other companies, right?
Yes, yeah.
We won't mention them.
Why not? No? Okay. Yeah, as an entrepreneur too, I feel like a lot of people, and I think this is what you're doing, is creating different avenues of income,
For sure, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where people don't realize that is like you can't just focus on one thing. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like as an entrepreneur, like if you're banking on just like running a shop, like you may not be able to maybe have passive good income for yourself. So having all these like, streaming income, it's kind of good. We have to push for that for ourselves, right?
With the other businesses and this business, are you looking to eventually just have them run by themselves? Is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. So that's like the goal. The goal is like to start a business so it is self-sufficient to run by itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you do have some floating staff that you use as you guys get busy too. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's good that we have like a lot of family helping right now especially during this time. Like people aren't as busy as they are, so it's a little tough to like bring in workers. But it's great that we're having our families help, and then we have a couple of our workers that will come help. So we're like fortunate for that.
And what would you say to someone that wants to start a business and they can't? They're too scared.
Oh, it's scary. I think they should just figure out what they want to do. They need to figure out what they want to do and then figure out the process of how to do it. Like if you have to go get a business license or just do all your research. I think research is really important. They should figure out how the steps they need to do to get to that point, or ask people questions, ask other entrepreneur questions, maybe someone in their field or someone in a different field, and they can give you like insight.
Yeah.
Because you're not wasting time, right? Then if you ask someone the steps, then maybe like you can get further in your dream or your...
Totally. And I totally agree with you. And I actually just learned that probably a couple of years ago. Asking for help is okay.
Yeah, for
right?
sure, yeah.
I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs feel like they're on their own and they have to do it all themselves. And it's totally not like that, right?
Yeah. That's why they say, like, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
You have so many quotes.
It's a great one though. It's
Yeah,
like
I guess, yeah.
in business and in travel, right? Like if you want to go, like you can't do everything by yourself.
For sure, yeah.
Totally. No, I'm just laughing because Dave has a quote at every
For
time.
everything, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just full of quotes.
I don't know how you remember them.
I think you've answered a lot of our questions.
Yeah. It was a great podcast.
It was, Mel, and you're like straight to the point. I feel. Just like,
I think I've become like that. Like before, I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Like I think I have background in it just because, like, my stepdad owns a lot of business. They own a lot of restaurants, and like I wish I asked them more questions. And my mom used to own like salons and stuff, but I never did. So it's like maybe I should have asked them because their business is succeeding or have been still going on. So it's like just ask questions, figure it out. I mean, what's like the worst answer? They can say no, or even send people emails, ask questions.
It's funny too because I find a lot of Asian parents, they don't want their kids to do business. And
For sure, yeah,
Like my
maybe.
parents, when I told them like I want to go into business school, they're like, "Why would you want to go into business? Like you have to
Yeah.
become an engineer. Like business is not good." But the thing is that like I enjoyed doing business stuff, and then I ended up going back into it anyways. So my dad was always like, "You should just did what you wanted from the very beginning because you just essentially just wasted this time and money doing something you didn't enjoy, and now you're doing what you want to do anyways." So
totally.
It's Asian parents, though. That's like, oh, don't do art. And then I see all my art friends are making money from it. I'm like, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I pursue that? Why didn't I push to pursue that, right? So I feel like your adolescent years, like your parents could be holding you back or something, and then you kind of revert and you change.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
100%. And I agree. Asian parents, my parents too. I don't think they know any better, and they just want you to go to school.
yeah,
For
they're
sure,
just
Like
yeah.
go to school, be doctor, lawyer, whatever, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And it's like that's all they know because they're in a new
For
world,
sure, yeah.
right?
They want better for you.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was like, for me, no.
Same.
But then as good as you get older, they're more understanding, right? Like my parents are in business and they're very understanding and they're willing to help and stuff. So it's good, right? Yeah.
That's great.
Is there any last things that you want to say? Anything that you want to share about business? I feel talking to you, it's like I feel like you're just a very ambitious woman. Like you know what's up,
Yeah.
you know what you got to do,
Yeah.
and it's like straight to the point, and I like it. Right? It's like boom, boom, boom. Let's work business before personal. That's my new life.
Because like I guess like in a sense it's like money's on the line and like everything's on the line. So in a sense it's like if you don't think about that first, like what are you gonna think about really? I think traveling has helped. I feel like travel inspires people. It kind of sucks with COVID, you can't travel, and I felt like traveling really helped inspire me to start business and figure out new things to like bring to the city or whatever.
Yeah, traveling's huge.
It's huge, yeah.
Especially for business.
Yeah.
It like expands your like understanding of everything, right?
Yeah. The more you travel, you start seeing trends at work.
Oh, for
in
sure, yeah. So,
specific cities.
I mean, that's how all these businesses that I did after the toy
Yeah.
became what it was because we were traveling a lot for our toy business. We're doing all like the Comic Cons in Calgary, and we're doing all the Comic Cons in the States. Like we'd go acquire all the products in the States, like new drops and stuff. So then when we go there, like eating is always like you have to eat. So we're always eating new places, trying new trends in the States. So then those ideas are like, you think about those ideas to bring back to your own city.
Yeah. And Calgary is good because like it's like a place for trends to happen.
For sure, yeah.
Right? Like we're not a trend city. People don't
We're
come
not,
here.
exactly, yeah.
It's like behind on the game.
Yeah.
And that's what I found that every time going down to California, like you would start seeing these weird trends that were going up down there. And it would be like 2-year lag.
For sure. And if you know they're doing well in the States, then you're going to know they're going to do well in like your city.
The only problem I find with the city though is the volume. Like,
For sure, exactly, yeah.
because like if you're going to open up a shop in New York compared to Calgary, you're going to have way more volume in a bigger city than the Calgary would.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. I remember when I went to Japan and I saw all these like the fashion. And I was like, this is going to be here in 2 years. And it was. Right?
It will, yeah.
the trends in
People
Japan
will,
are
yeah.
crazy. That's why I love Japan.
Yeah.
And that's where the donuts are from.
Yeah, I just sparked from it. But it also sparked from the States too. So it's been around. It's just it hasn't reached here, right? Until we brought it here. Yeah.
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 It's a cool concept.
Well, I like what you're doing. I like the trends, and it's a very bold move, opening up a business, especially in
during
retail
COVID.
during COVID, right?
For sure, yeah.
Kudos to you. But yeah, did you get anything else you want to get out, share about your story, about business?
I
anything
think
that's helped you.
I think I have a lot to say. I think from the very beginning, I feel like we're jumping back and forth in our stories, in my story.
Yeah.
I think that I want people to be successful. I'm always willing to help people if they want to have a coffee. I feel like people message me all the time, like, "Hey, I want to have a coffee. I want to pick your brain," or "I'm kind of stuck. I'm like in my like quarter life crisis or whatever." They're like, "I want to talk." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." They're like, "How did you get to your point and stuff?" And I feel like I'm always willing to give people advice. And I always want to push people. I'm that person. I've become that person. I always want to push people to do better, to do more. So I feel like any friends that like are inspired or want to do stuff, like I feel like I'll talk to you. Let's do it. I'll figure it out for you. I'll help you.
That's good.
Totally. What do you think has like the biggest thing that has made it successful?
The business or like donuts or
just in general? I feel like you've done.
I think that I don't know. I just have like a clear goal. I just feel like marketing's really great. I feel maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm just doing marketing really well.
Yeah, marketing is critical, I feel.
Yeah, especially with a product.
Especially with product, yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially with trendy products, right? You have to market it, right? So, no, I think you've done a very good job. And yeah. Anything else for you, Dave?
No, I think we should work on a collab. I actually have a good idea. So we'll talk about that after. Well, I was actually thinking of doing like a giveaway with donuts for our clients.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
for sure. Yeah. We actually are doing a 4K giveaway. We hit 4K. So we're doing a 4K giveaway actually right now too.
Yeah.
$4,000?
No, for the people.
For people. So we're doing 4 boxes and a pint of ice cream.
Oh, nice.
Because you hit 4,000.
We hit 4,000 followers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, you guys are giving away 4,000.
I wish.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could definitely talk about that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. When is Donut Day again?
So Donut Day is in June. Okay. National Donut Day is in June.
June what?
Like June 24th.
I was gonna say it's close to my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could figure out something that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free donuts for clients.
Totally. Let's
For
do
sure.
it.
Yeah.
And where can we find you?
You can find us in Chinatown on 2nd Avenue.
Okay.
Or you could just find us online too.
What's
Social
your
media.
What's your social media?
So we're Amaido Cafe or we're at www.amaidocafe.com.
And they could order online and then.
They can order online. They can DM me. They can message me.
Cool. Sweet.
I got you.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for coming on, Mel. And
Yeah.
It was a great conversation.
good conversation for sure.
Thank you for listening to Behind the Business podcast.
Remember, you can find us on all social media outlets and reach out to us if you have any questions. And remember,
everybody enjoy their life. Don't wait. Just